What's going on? This is Marcus, and in this video, first and foremost, happy 2021. 2020 is over. We can go ahead and dump all that old stuff, that dumpster fire. Don't even worry about it anymore. We moved on to 2021, bigger and better things. I'm wishing everybody much health and much prosperity with all your ventures, family, and the whole nine. So in this video, we're talking about financial goals for 2021. I actually wanted to name this video Ish I'm Telling My Money to Do in 2021, but it was a little problematic with the title and the algorithm and all that other stuff, so I decided to keep it plain Jane 2021 financial goals style. I'm going to go over the top 5 things that I want to focus on for my financial goals. I'm not getting into the personal goals or reading more and fitness and all that stuff, because it's the finance channel over here. We over here at the finance channel where we talk about getting out of debt and tips on money and laugh at some of the stupid stuff I did. So we focus on the finances. I'm going to talk about the top 5 things I want to do with my finances. Starting in number 5, I want to increase the amount of money that I'm contributing towards my children's college fund. My daughter, I contribute $100 a month for, and my son, I do $300 a month for. Yeah, I know, there's a big deviation, but my daughter's a little thing. My son, hey, in 4 years, he's going to be in college, so I want to make sure I can stack his up as fast as I possibly can. So, right now, I'm not really sure what the additional contribution is going to be. How I allocate my money isn't going to really gain any granularity until February, because I got some things kind of bubbling off this month that could determine whether it be more or less. But I'm looking at probably an extra $200 is what I hope to contribute a month to his college fund, and we'll see how that goes. I did cut him a side deal. I said, hey, if you get a full scholarship and you keep that scholarship after your first year is satisfactory, you're not on academic probation, I give you 10 stacks. Yeah, I know it's bribery, but hey, it's a way to actually encourage him to stay focused and try to get their scholarship. And if he get the scholarship, you know, maybe I can use those proceeds for if he wants to go to graduate school, or an alternative to buy me a brand new motorcycle. So contributing additional to his college fund and my daughter's college fund. That's number 5. Number 4 is I want to continue to bolster up my emergency fund. Some of you all may be familiar. I used a large part of my emergency fund to actually pay off some debts, because I was right at the finish line. But now my emergency fund is a little too low to that point where I'm completely uncomfortable. So I'm going to contribute some money every month to actually bolster that up. Number 3 is passive income. I'm trying to find ways to increase passive income. So right now what I essentially have is income from investments, income from rental properties. What I'm thinking of is really 2 places where I can actually increase this. The first is I do have some land in rural South Carolina that I currently rent out so folks can hunt on and do that type of stuff. But I'm probably going to think of a much more creative way to utilize that land and that acreage down there. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, if marijuana get legalized, that'll be a perfect place to grow and plant some legal marijuana. But for right now, I'm going to just think of some other creative avenue to use it with my fingers crossed on legal bud. The other avenue I have to increase my passive income is the wifey does have a side hustle. She's a travel agent, but you know, once COVID kind of popped off, everything died down with the travel industry. So I'm hoping with the vaccine in a few months, you know, maybe summertime in the middle of the year, maybe June, that things open up so we can actually, you know, she can go to her thing and do her thing and start booking folks on their dream vacations and destination weddings, and so we can get that crank back. But since I'm a little bit more optimistic with the vaccine and potentially things open up, hopefully we can take advantage and get some additional income from there. The number 2 thing that I'm going to do with my money is actually decrease some of my investments. I know it sounds crazy. Normally I've always invested at least 10% of my income. That's just automatic. That's the one thing I knew. I was like, hey, no matter how stupid I am currently with my money and spending, if I always invest 10%, at least I'll have something down the road, you know, when I'm an old geezer and my knees starting to hurt more than they already hurt now. But I'm actually going to decrease. I actually do a little bit more than 10%. I do around 13%. I'm going to dial that 3% back, take it solely to 10%, so I can use that additional 3% just to kind of speed up this debt payoff process, because I want to get that over with as soon as possible. So any monies that I can get that I can allocate towards debt, I'm going to focus on. So I'm going to decrease my investments probably by about 3%. So essentially from 13% of the household income to 10% of the household income, and I'm allocating that additional 3% towards paying off debt. And the number one thing I want to do is, because I want to pay between $30,000 to $45,000 towards my student loan. Take a look. My student loan is a little over $109,000. Take a look. Now my goal is to attack this student loan. This student loan currently, the payment on it is nothing because things are frozen. But in February, when payments are set to resume, I put the air quotes up because I'm hoping Biden come through. I'm hoping Biden come through and extend that a little bit longer. But essentially, in February, when the payments come due, the payment on that student loan is about $750 a month. And so the goal is to pay between 30 to 40, maybe 45 if I could push it, thousand of that off in this 1 year. Essentially, what's going to determine whether it's 30 or closer to 40 or 45 is really what happens with this student loan freeze. If student loans are set to resume and everything resumes as normal in February with no additional freeze, no additional interest freeze, I'll probably pay somewhere around $30,000 to $35,000 on it this calendar year, because I also have to make payments on my wife's student loan as well. But if things are frozen for either a 6-month or 12-month period, I'll be able to pay a little bit more, because I'm essentially going to take the proceeds I would have paid towards my wife's student loan and just apply everything on my student loan. So that can kind of speed things up exponentially. Right now, when we first started this journey, there was about $2,750 a month to pay towards debt. Now we paid everything off, well, mostly everything, just the furniture left with about $2,200 on. But with no more car payment, that puts us easily $1,000 a month total income that can be paid towards the debt. Once this furniture is paid off this month, that'll put us a little bit around $3,200 a month that can be paid towards debt. The question essentially is going to be, is that entire amount going to go towards one student loan because they extended the student loan forbearance and interest freeze, or am I going to have to bifurcate those funds up to pay partially on my student loan of $109,000 and partially on my wife's student loan, the minimum payment on my wife's student loan? There is an extra $800 or so that I think I can squeeze out in a month or so, but I'll talk a little bit about that in another video because I gotta wait to see how some things pan out. And the main goal is to try to eliminate the debt. I don't plan on buying anything fancy, anything new. Nah, I had to think about it because I had to think about it. But nah, I ain't buying anything fancy. I ain't buying anything new. May squeeze a vacation in if things open back up and calm down with this whole Rona situation. But outside of that, those are the things I'm going to do with my money. Now, I will tell you all, going into 2021, just make sure you sit down and have a plan for what you want to do with your money. So I know if the goal is to pay $30,000 towards the debt, that requires me to pay $2,500 a month. So in 3 months, I would have had to pay about $7,500 towards that particular debt. So every 3 months, I'm going to kind of do a quarterly check-in just to find out where I am, where I'm going. Right now, I don't have any real savings challenge. If my savings challenge is to save money, I just need to figure out how much do I need to put to save this total amount each week, each month, every 2 months, every 3 months, and so forth. So I just can't kind of keep it simple. But again, outline your goals. You can do it. So that's what I plan on telling my money to do in 2021. And unlike children, money will listen if you put it where it needs to be and direct it where it needs to go. So I'm going to tell my money to do those 5 things. That's what I'm focusing on, with the number one priority being paying between $30,000 to $45,000 on that student loan. I appreciate you all tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, and if you comment, I'll definitely get back to you all. Again, happy New Year's. Wishing you all health, prosperities, all the blessings in the world. Take care. Peace.